Welcome to Flat Station Sound Bites, where we share tips, tricks, and product information to help you better enjoy our sport and lifestyle. And a big shout out to Brother Dave Fader for the awesome music. You can check out more of Dave's phenomenal work on davidfader.com. Welcome back to Flats Nation Sound Bites. In this volume, we will hear a slice of our very educational show with our friend Chris Peterson of Hells Bay Boatworks as we discuss their use of the newer aerospace product, Carbon Innegra, in their hulls and why. For those outside the industry, and I know this is a newer term that's being used, what is Carbon Innegra?
It's carbon. Well, that's something we came up. Well, we didn't come up with it. Are we talking about aerospace? The first Carbon Innegra stuff was being used by Boeing in the Dreamliner. So Innegra is a fabric that is got a lower molecular weight than Kevlar. Kevlar if you expose the fibers, if you get a gash in your boat or something and you've exposed your Kevlar, water can wick up into that fabric and it can suck into the fabric and into your laminate if you were to damage your boat. Innegra is hydrophobic, so it expels water, so it won't soak up any water, so that's a good thing. It's also a stronger material, so for all the properties, and really what you're looking for with the Kevlar is really an impact resistance, so and tear resistance and all of that. Innegra is even better at that, and it's lighter than that. So, and we were the first to use it in the marine industry. Like I said, we pulled it out of aerospace. The carbon fiber per weight and amount of resin, it's almost like a crystal. If you don't have any Innegra with it, it's almost like a crystal ball, because it will break and crack and fracture, but it's stiff. So you can get a stiffness in that product with just carbon fiber, and go across spans with lighter weights, and still get a stiffness, but you're not getting the impact. So we're using Carbon Innegra, and there's still fiber. There's actually glass fibers in some of our in our layups and things, because they all have a reason for being there. So we're using a Carbon Innegra, and then we've got a proprietary resin system that we use along with it. So that is actually, it's not molecular weight's not any less, but it's actually got a higher modulus and more, I'm looking for the word now. I know it's a technical term, but basically stretchability. Okay. So it's a stiffer resin, but when you do impact it or push it, once it does start to move, it'll move further and come back than a normal resin. So, super, super cool stuff. And, so that's, so it's the resins that you use along with fabric materials that make, in the composite industry, we can make, the same size, but extremely much lighter than steel. So, with composites, you can make stronger materials than steel, considerably less weight. So it's all about weight with us. So anyway, we can make a stiffer and a product that will move with you if you hit something. And then if you go even further and you actually impact, you got the Innegra in there, and then you got the additional stiffness with the carbon in there. And then, like I said, there's other stuff in there too, as far as various glasses, different types of weaves and different thicknesses that come up with that engineered product to get that super light, super tough structure you're looking for.
How many components are constructed with Carbon Innegra? I mean, can you make the entire skiff out of it, or are you limited to hull and cap? What is the design intent on that?
Carbon Innegra is really just our outside skin. And then a lot of times if we want to use, we may use just carbon on the other side. So, and the caps can be, if you use full carbon, the caps don't need, they're not going to hit something at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. So with your cap, it needs to resist you and your pliers, so, which carbon alone will do just fine, but it's that hull that really needs that impact resistance. And that's where that Carbon Innegra comes in.
Did you have to make any adjustments on the vacuum system for the Carbon Innegra due to its
construction and structural rigidity, or same time?
No, well, no. I mean, we use the same type of vacuum pumps and same methods that we would use otherwise. When you're using resins, there's a term called centipoise. Centipoise is the flowability of the resin, and the centipoise with that and vinyl ester or polyester resins are all about the same. So we didn't have to do anything different to use our resin system than we did with like a vinyl ester.
And this is just one of the many reasons a Hales-based skiff is different and not only performs the way that it does, but also retains some of the best resale value in the industry. And as a quick reminder, we now have some new items in the Flats Nation store that you may enjoy. And soon, we will have our technical hat design we've been working on. And due to it being so comfortable even in the heat, should become your next favorite hat to wear. Well, we hope you enjoyed our show today and found it both educational and entertaining at the same time. If you or your company would like to join the team on Flats Nation for a podcast or other coverage, feel free to drop us a quick note at info@flatsnation.com. And now, here's the rest of the song to run the skiff back home with. Tight lines and God bless.